Congratulations, you played yourself.
Guys, I already knew this shit was gonna happen. I played the Stellar Blade demo that everybody is raving about right now.
Did I beat it? Let's go. Damn. Bro, this shit is fire as fuck. I'm telling you right now. Was that first try with the skin suit?
Everybody is having fun with it. Everybody knows the combat is good. We was already on board with it because of how the female character look, of course, because that's what started the movement, and the fact that the developer is based as fuck and he doesn't give a shit. What really sold it, and I'm telling you right now, was that people got their hands on it. That made it full circle, and that made it so much better than what we thought it would be. You know when you have a dream about something and you like, you know, God, I could just envision this being good. It looks good. The idea of the dream is perfect. But you know deep down in the back of your mind that if you get to that realization of that dream coming true, you know in the back of your mind it's not going to be as good as you think it is. This is the complete opposite of that. It actually turned out better than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was just going to be all substance, but it wasn't. So now since the cat out, how do you say that expression? Now since the cat is out the bag per se, right? The media is fucking panicking because they know for a fact this is going to change the industry. It's good on all fronts. It's not just sexy. It's the combat. It's the world. It's the music. It's everything about it that people are loving and they can't fucking stand it.
Oh, that's beautiful. Hold up. Let me sit down.
So you know I'm going to talk about this shit because we got two things to cover today. Number one, Xbox made a oopsie, a big oopsie, that is in their terms and conditions when it comes to making their characters. This is the type of shit that they're pushing onto their devs, that they're basically saying, hey, we want you to abide by these rules when you are considering making certain characters in video games. You guys want to see that list? Because I don't think a lot of people seen this list that I'm about to show you right now. Check this out. Okay, so I'm gonna make this bigger. I'm probably gonna put this on my screen so you guys can see it better. But watch this shit. This is the questions to consider. They said Microsoft warns devs against making sexy female characters. So this is their statement that they put out, or I guess is their terms and conditions when it comes to what they want devs to abide by, right? They're encouraging devs to abide by it, which means if you don't, then there's going to be consequences. We all know how this shit works, right? So this is what they say, right? Let's go through this entire list. They basically said, are you telling new stories or sharing new perspectives within the product experience? That's first. Do all your characters / player depictions look the same? These are good at first. These are all good, right? What steps have you taken to ensure characters are represented respectfully and authentically? Here we go. How have you validated assumptions you have made about your audience to check for blind spots or unintended stereotypes? We're getting worse and worse. We're going down the pit, you see? And then for the next one, we said, would you feel proud to show a member of a community how their culture / character is depicted within your experience? Seeking further and further into the further. Let's go. Let's keep going. How are the wide range of customers depicted within your products, content portfolio, and communications? Keep going deeper. What process have you used to validate how different groups of people or cultures are represented in your experience? Now, this is where it gets crazy. This is where it lets you know who's involved. We all know Sweet Baby is a deal, right? We all know people got their hands on Sweet Baby, and I'm gonna show you this this particular tweet from a racist individual of their own kind in a second, because this all ties together. Watch this. So this is where it gets nuts in this whole entire statement, right? All this other stuff over here is, you know, normal shit. This is where it goes far fucking left. They said, are you reinforcing any negative gender stereotypes. You know where we're going with this, right? This is going to be how everything I'm going to read here is going to hit the nail on the head on why games portray women the way they do in video games and why they portray men the way they do in video games. Check this out. Are you unnecessarily introducing gender and gender barriers? Why do you use gender and gender twice? That's such a whatever. Gender barriers into your code or design. They actually said that. Are you creating playable female characters that are equal in skill and ability to their male peers? Don't that tell you everything you need to know? Why does that have to be stressed? Are your female characters equipped with clothing and armor that fits their task? Which means that Eve is definitely not on their list.
Let's go. Let's take the skin suit. God damn. Can I get a... Let me get a goddamn. Hold up a second. God damn. Can I get a goddamn in the chat?
Because characters like that fits that mold of Bayonetta, Nier, Eve, or these other games that have sexy characters, right? Those aren't allowed. We don't want you to have, nope. If they don't fit the task of our realistic standards, then we don't want you here. Which means experimentation when it comes to armor sets or just sexiness in general is out the fucking door. But you know what's backwards about this too? They can have men dressed in, I don't know, not fit the task type of attire, like hence Tekken, for instance, right? Or hence any other male character in these video games to where they are ripped to the T, they're big as fuck, and they're fighting in the winter. How does that work? It doesn't do it. Do men complain about this shit at all? It's a double standard with this. So y'all protecting women like women don't like looking sexy themselves. Y'all act like women don't want to look sexy or don't want to look appealing. Do they exaggerate? Do they have exaggerated body proportions? What do they consider as exaggerated body proportions? You mean chicks who are big breasted? Have you ever met a chick? What? Do you not know any chicks that are big breasted? Do you not know of any chicks that are well endowed in the butt or have big hips or have big legs or have, I don't know, a very curvaceous form? You don't know any women like that? That's considered exaggerated proportions. And these are the same people that would say this tweet right here. Let me move on to this tweet right here because this shit pissed me off. These people right here that say this shit are the same people that say this. And thanks to Grummins right here, he actually has been on this case with the Sweet Baby and all this other type of shit, right? So he found this statement from IGN in France. Watch what they said about what they consider Eve looks like and who will be the creators of Eve. Check this out. They say it's not new in other games to have chosen to highlight the strengths of their female characters, but where a Bayonetta stands out with an iconic character design, or 2B from Nier Automata inspires an entire generation of cosplayers, Eve from Stellar Blade just looks bland. A doll sexualized by someone who has never seen a woman. These are the same people who say this bullshit right here, who basically says that do they have exaggerated body proportions, have the nerve to say Eve is made by somebody who's never seen a woman. Does that even make any fucking sense? So you're basically saying that any proportions that's not, I don't know, like Abby from The Last of Us, do you consider that realistic body proportions for a woman? Would you see that shit in the apocalypse? Who's pumping iron like that in the apocalypse? But because it looks less feminine and not for the male gaze, that's okay. What body type are you talking about here? Are you saying that women can't have big titties? Are you saying that women can't have a fat ass? You can't say that they can't have a big hip ratio? What are you talking about? It sounds like you have never seen a woman before. So they actually out themselves of never seeing a woman because of their standards that they're trying to hold to not offend ugly women who have a problem with a beautiful girl in a video game. If you're that intimidated from a beautiful girl from a video game, you let me know who you are. You're a person who's insecure. You're a person who's threatened. Because guess what? I don't feel threatened when I see Kazuya in Tekken ripped to the fucking gills and big as shit. I don't feel threatened because guess what? I aspire to be like that. I'm like, damn, that look dope as fuck. I would love to look like that. Or Goku from Dragon Ball Z. Do you know how many people inspire to be like Goku from Dragon Ball Z? And they don't get offended. They don't be depressed like, oh, I would never look like Goku from Dragon Ball Z. It's impossible to get that big. Quit being a bitch and work out. It's simple as that. It inspires you. Men don't deal with this shit. So for you to say that it's exaggerated body proportions, and this is from a company, Microsoft, that's actually saying this shit. What do you think is going on at Microsoft right now? And why do you think the climate of gaming is going the way it is at Microsoft? Why do you think they're failing so bad? And why do you think that Stellar Blade went to Sony and not Microsoft? Why do you think? Because she doesn't fit this standard. Y'all just fucked yourselves and y'all played yourselves. No wonder why Microsoft sucks. So now we're going to move on to something else. We're going to move on to this dumbass comment from this racist bitch that's actually works for Microsoft. Watch this. You see where we're at, right? We're on the Dallas Express right now. Look at this fucking headline. Microsoft wonders, poor Phil Spencer. You want to know why Microsoft sucked dick? Look at this. We just came from that other part, right? About how they're talking about women. Look at this. Look at the blatant racism that they have on the front page of the Dallas Express. Microsoft touts how company pays whites less. If anybody of any race think this is okay for a company to say, you're the fucking issue. I don't care if white, black, Puerto Rican, or whatever the fuck. If anybody said this about any other race, the company would be done. But because it's about white people, all of a sudden it's okay to say. You see the reverse shit that's going on here? But the fact that it's coming from a big company like Microsoft, I don't know what else to say about this. Microsoft acknowledged it pays its white employees less on average than other racial and ethnic groups, possibly in violation of Title VII of Civil Rights Act. So that's a Civil Rights Act. You're basically discriminating blatantly, and you basically just acknowledged it. So what the fuck is that? So, okay, against someone based on race, color, religion, sex, or national origin. So how the fuck is that okay for you to, and these are the same people who was complaining about the women pay gap. Remember that shit that was happening? About how y'all basically said y'all wanted equality? About how y'all wanted women to be paid the same as men? They said whites. They didn't say white men. They said whites, which means it's both men and women. So you do that to a whole ethnic group. I wonder how many of those women who were white women who were paid less than Microsoft was complaining about the women's pay gap during that time. I wonder, was it the white women who was being paid less on purpose? Were the ones that was complaining about the pay gap? That makes you think, don't it? Check out the Dallas Express, because this is the part that I did want to show you. Dive deep into this shit because it gets worse than this. This video will be like 40 minutes long. I'm not trying to have it be 40 minutes long. I'm just trying to get you to see this part because I want you to read this tweet from this bitch. But that part is important. So as if Microsoft didn't embarrass himself enough, right? We got another thing. Microsoft ain't having a good day. They are not having a good week or anything like that. So this person by the name of Dragon Independent VTuber, if an employee at Microsoft made a racist tweet about a person of color, they would be fired within an hour. But this person, Kelly, as a representative of Xbox, can be openly racist versus white people and nothing happens. Do y'all still think that there's a conspiracy theory about how white people can be treated any type of way during this climate right now? White people are not the oppressors anymore, like how y'all want them to be. I know everybody wants white people to be the oppressors so that we all can be victims. I get that narrative, right? Because it's easy. And because y'all can just do whatever the fuck y'all want to, right? So as long as they're the bad guy, we can do whatever we want and we got free reign just as long as we claim victim. I get y'all want to do that. But is it clear as day now with the shit that I just showed you? White people can't say shit. And that anybody can say whatever they want to white people and get away with it. Watch what this bitch just said. This bitch Kelly said, raise your hand if you're not a white man and you buy video games. No hate to white dudes. It's just another day within the gaming industry that minorities have to fight to prove they exist. Are you kidding me? Just like this dude said, if this was said by anybody else, she would be out the fucking door and she would have to make a public apology to everybody. But since it's about white people, nope, I don't have to do that. Because guess what? They're the oppressors. So we can say whatever the fuck we want to. You see how this dynamic is working right now? And this is from Microsoft. This is from an employee from Microsoft. No wonder why Xbox is shit. So yeah, guess what? We're going to keep Stellar Blade while you have nothing over there. And I'm not doing this console war shit. I'm talking about the company's principles. I still own an Xbox. I bought both because I don't like fighting over, who gets what or whatever the fuck. I just play whatever the hell I want to. So this is not about console wars. It's about how you run your company. And it's about the blatant hypocrisy that Stellar Blade has faced when it comes to the women shit and when it comes to the racist shit, when it comes to what y'all are able to say in your company. Your company's going downhill. It's going downhill. And Stellar Blade exposed it all. It exposed the fact that you're sexist, really. The fact that you try to protect women by saying, do you show over, out of control proportions on female bodies and shit like that. There are many body types to women. So what are you talking about? What are your definition of proportions? You just show that you are sexist and that you never seen a woman like you claim the dude who made Stellar Blade, Eve, have never seen a woman, even though his wife is hotter than all y'all could possibly get. So yeah, I just wanted to get on here and talk some mess, because y'all give me shit to talk about all the time. I'm glad Stellar Blade is successful. I've been having fun with it. I hope you guys support the fuck out this game to piss these people off. I want these guys to cry in the corner when Stellar Blade is the biggest PlayStation exclusive to hit the market. Let's get it there. Fuck y'all guys. Peace.
God damn.